brothers, I have found the queen. She is as beautiful as they say. She smells so nice. She smells of the great Ebola. But my brothers, she is being tormented by the non-believers. We must save her. We must spit on them. We must protect her, for she knows the way. Come, brothers, let us show them why they do not know the way. You do not know the way. You do not know the way. You do not know the way. But our queen will show us the way.
You ever watch hentai?
Oh yeah.
Alright, what's the one you go to?
What do you mean?
Like, what's your go-to? Like, which ones you go for? You know what I mean?
Tits.
Like,
Just tits.
you just go for the ones with the biggest tits,
Yeah.
right? Okay, that's not bad. You want to understand about hentai is like how they start off. Not like how it's just the way they lead up to sex is weird, you know?
You came for the porn, you stayed for the plot.
No. I mean, there have been some hentais to where I have came for the porn and stayed for the plot. Only one though, actually.
Oh really?
Anyway, but I'll lead into that in a second. But the one thing I don't understand is like, it's always like some sort of college student who happens to be home for the summer, and then his parents are away on business overseas, because every hentai character's parents are always overseas.
And
then,
you're not okay with that because...
why can't I have that? It's just but it also leads to like they're very close, either their childhood friends as they were growing up, their classmate, or their non-blood related stepsister.
Some cases blood related.
Let's not talk about those. Okay, that's just weird.
That's just fucked up.
I feel uncomfortable with those. And then they hang out for a bit. He goes in the fridge and he's like, "Oh, what's this? Insert whatever name here. Drink. Oh, it must be like a protein shake or a milk, right?"
Protein, bruh.
So he takes it and then he drinks it, and then it's just normal. And the next thing you know, he's sitting down, he's talking to her. All of a sudden, his boner is popping through his fucking pants, and it leads to sex. My question is, what the fuck is in those drinks? That's what I don't understand. What is in those drinks?
Whatever it is, I need some of that.
I don't. What is happening? Do you know what's happening?
I have no idea.
I also don't like the ones that like just that make no sense. Like the one the one I don't like is like the widow one. I saw one with like his brother's wife is a widow now because his brother died in an accident, but then they hooked up. And that's just kind of fucked, dude.
I found one like that, but then out of nowhere, the daughter came into the mix. I'm just like, no, fuck no, that's the line.
I've seen teachers and students, which is normal. That's like that's the role play people expect.
As a college student, that's our fantasy.
As a high school student, that's our nightmare. Well, depends on who you ask. But it's just weird, bro. Like, I don't understand the concept on some certain hentais. I don't like the tentacle ones. I mean, actually, no, more like I don't mind them. It's like the ones you expect at this point. It's like Saw movies. It's like, oh, decapitation? Okay. But like, dude getting his dick ripped out of his asshole, that's new.
Woo.
That's where it's like, oh my god, that's horrible. But dude getting his head chopped off, that's normal. it's like that with hentai is like horror movies. The more common it is, the less fucked up it becomes, supposedly. Or the more you get used to it, rather. Like, for example, like I said, like the tentacle ones, or like the fucking older men and like princess role plays.
Oh god, not that.
Those are weird, but those are common. I've seen countless. I'm not a hentai expert, but I've seen countless of hentai videos in my lifetime, and some range from normal to weird to surprisingly kinky, and then just back to weird again. I think the funniest thing, it's completely random with this, but it's still on topic, is this one I think 17-year-old posted on I think either Reddit or Tumblr, where for Christmas his dad bought him a box full of anime, like anime DVDs, right?
Oh, this cannot end well.
But when his son did the research, they were all hentai
No.
DVDs. So he was like, really confused as to why his dad got him hentai DVDs.
Why can't I have a dad that naive?
I mean, to be fair, you'd be like, "What the fuck, Dad?" I mean, I'm still gonna keep them, but
It's like those magazines under the bed. We don't talk about those, but we all know they're
I
there.
don't have magazines under the bed. I was never the magazine kind of guy.
And that's why the internet was invented.
Thank you.
Anyways, welcome back to the Corrupted Save File podcast.
I am your host,
Meta and Vince.
Vince.
Oh yeah, he just had to take a nice long sip of coffee. Just a...
Saw, dude. So, when whoever's watching this, be it one person or 20 people.
I would be impressed if it were 20 people.
Our first video actually got up to 18 views.
That's not bad, actually.
It's not so bad. I think one of them was me, just to make sure like the audio quality was perfect. And
yeah, that one might also be from me because I had to use my private
YouTube
channel.
Only two views would be from us.
So still 15 views. That's not bad.
That's not. It could be worse.
As for this one's actually episode 3 because I found myself losing episode 2. I have like 1,000 flash drives at my house, and I'm afraid that it might be on one of them.
Not to mention you have to do a lot of projects before school ended.
That's what I'm worried about.
That's gonna be horrifying. You submit an essay, or you submitted a project to a teacher, and all of a sudden, it's like, oh, I wonder what James let me. All right, these fucking faggots, mate. What the fuck? It's like, whoa. First of all, James, I don't like your language. Second of all, you're going a route that no one else has taken. A+.
If that actually did get me an A+, I would just submit that for every class.
Jay, how could you? You are a brother, but it's an A+ though for using the word. No one's ever used the word faggots in such raw manner.
But I never said the word faggot in that episode, though.
No, it was me. But it's
oh, okay. All right, so Vince is the one that gets all the credit there.
Giving you a heads up, I don't use the word faggot against gay people. The best faggot is my go-to insult, next to cunt and dickhole.
It's also the word we use to describe our Lord and Savior.
I was gonna say my Lord and who's your Lord and Savior?
iDubbbz.
I was gonna say fucking what's his fucking name? Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay is my Lord and Savior. I have a shrine dedicated to Gordon Ramsay.
In the name of the Papa and of the Dubs and of the Maxo Mofo. Amen.
That's actually pretty creative there. But what was I saying? Fuck. Oh, my go-to faggot word is, think of it like this. Think about you're driving, right? You're driving and it's about to get into a turning lane. But on this section, it's still the one you're in. It can keep going straight. It's just it has the option to turn in somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say this asshole comes in, cuts you off, and then makes the turn. What do I say? What a faggot. That's the first thing I go to. Or dick.
To be fair, if you were to say like asshole or dick, those are the most common ones. So
okay.
You really got to use something that's your own.
If he happens to be gay and he did it to me, then he'd be a gay faggot. I don't understand the concept of like how hard it. Have you ever seen? It's that South Park episode, right?
Yeah.
With the motorcyclists. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, because you're the one binge watching it, right?
Right.
Yeah. They call them faggots, and then and the town was like in pure shock that the boys are using the word faggots, because they thought they meant it in the way against gay people, but like no, we meant it in the gay people who always ride their Harleys around town making a shit ton of noise when we just want to relax. And then one of the things like, well, what if there was a homosexual man riding a Harley? And they're like, then he's a gay faggot. I don't understand how hard it is to like. How is this hard to understand?
Whenever I hear the word faggot, I just think of that episode from Camp. Hey guys, I'm a pile of sticks. Fine. That was a good one.
I thought you were to go with that one episode of South Park when they said the word shit for the first time. Hey there, shitty fag, shitty fag.
Well, wasn't there one where they counted just how many times they said asshole?
Yep.
That counter went up skyrocketing.
Sorry about the audio peak there. Doggo wanted to go outside.
He always does. Give it 2 minutes. He's gonna turn back around.
They always do. So, what we wanted to say, besides a bunch of insults and a bunch of curse words, I don't think we're gonna have ads on this video.
If we do, I am going to make sure they stay.
But what I wanted to say was, if you're watching, or rather listening to this, it's probably around the time that it's either New Year's Eve or right after New Year's. This is I wouldn't say a special episode because we just decided to do this last minute. If anything, we wanted to hang out and just chill, but we can do that afterwards. Like, you know what?
Of course.
I told Jay, like, you know what? New Year's is like later this weekend, so I think it's best to just record one last episode before the end of 2017. Now, I wanted to ask, well, if you have any, you can participate in this, but you can't do it now because obviously you're listening to this after this has been recorded. But I wanted to ask Jay, I figure we can talk about this before. I wanted to talk about the more of a geekier topic, which is the center of this whole show, about the Game Awards. We can talk about that later on.
But that was the best.
But what I wanted to bring up was like any memories of 2017 that made you good, that weren't so bad. Like, well, 2017 personally, it wasn't a shit show. No, it was a shit show. It wasn't.
It was a shit show, but for the wrong reasons.
It wasn't pure shit. I think personally, I've had worse years. This has just happened to me. This happened to me the more. How do I put it? The year where the most shit happened, but it was the most boring to me. That's all I can put it. Only if
you just got so like, you felt so dead to everything that you just went, oh yeah, that happened.
Because I didn't care.
Well, there's one thing that we all remember. The Emoji Movie.
We don't. I prefer not. When did that come out? July?
I think so.
Yeah, that was a summer movie. You know, it's already like number 6 on like the top 100 worst films of all time, right?
I think I'm going to have you duct taped to a chair with your eyes clamped open so that you can watch that.
Ha! Joke's on you. I'm sexually turned on to being restrained.
Moving right along. As for the episode 2 thing, before we get too far away from that, I'm gonna try and find that. It should be on one of my flash drives if it's not in my hard drive.
He has a desktop, I think.
Yep.
Right? Is that what you have in your room?
Yeah.
So it could be on the desktop or on this laptop. So.
And what I plan to do is once I locate it, I'm gonna make that into a subscriber special. So if I can find it by the time we reach 1,000 subscribers,
if we can get 10,000 likes on this video,
I think Vince just had a stroke. If we can get 20,000 likes on this comment,
I will stick a broken glass bulb up my beehole if I get 20,000 likes.
One Vince, one light bulb coming up.
Just letting you know that it's a joke. Don't actually do it, please. I got cut by light bulbs at work multiple times, like right here.
Oh God!
Not like enough to where I was bleeding, but enough to like it stung, so I just put a Band-Aid
When
on.
he said right here, he just whipped out his dick. So
yeah, like right down the slit, like, right down the opening.
Ooh God!
They're probably thinking about like, why you have your dick at work? It's like, well, I was trying to fuck the light bulb. What are you trying to do? I mean,
you really gonna judge us for fucking light bulbs?
Like, come on, you make it seem like you're having to fuck a light bulb at one point in your life. Come on, am I right, lads? Am I right?
Good Lord, we're fucked up.
Wait! You haven't fucked a light bulb in your lifetime? It's just me.
No. I fucked a blender though.
I do the condensant ones, the energy saving ones. That way you can keep going, but it's also energy efficient.
If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go murder Vince now.
Joke's on you. I'm into necrophilia.
But you're the dead one. How would that
exactly
work? The fuck?
Hey man, I may be dead, but I still get a stiffy. Get it?
Please ignore any police reports you find in the state of Florida, because one of them may involve Vince being murdered in a canal.
Schmurdered? But what I was saying was, like any moments that were like the highlight of like this year. Personally, I think the first half of the year started pretty good. Personally, and then from there, just kind of mellowed out. It's like a marriage this year. It's like it started off really great, but then 20 years down the line, it was, it's whatever. All right, but go on.
Personally, I've had some good stuff that I've done this year, such as marathoning South Park.
That happened like a month ago. I meant like earlier this year.
That was a month ago?
Yeah, you started a month
Jesus
ago.
Christ, I'm already on season 10.
Because like what? I started my Hulu subscription like November 4th. So I already paid for the first month already. And I think I'm about to pay for the second month and then within the week. So
Good Lord, I watch way too much of that show.
let me give you a time frame. Let's say from January to April, like from that specific time frame, like what made you go, "Oh yeah, this is fun." You may not see this, but there is a ghost sticking its dick in Jay's mouth because he's thinking about what he's done between that time frame, but his mouth is still open. And now I'm horrified at what I'm seeing. Because now he's actually participating in sucking the ghost's dick.
I got an Apple Watch.
Okay, yeah. That's actually pretty cool. It makes your life a little easier with your phone, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, because instead of like constantly texting and driving, which by the way, I feel very uncomfortable sometimes because my mom does that. And this one time, she almost, like a year or so ago, we were in the car heading to a family barbecue. She almost ran into an SUV. Like it was like here, and all of a sudden she drifted off. They honked. She's like, oh. Then she put her phone down, and that's when I grabbed her phone and held on to it. Like, yeah, no, you're not holding on to this.
Yeah, fuck you, Mom. You almost killed me.
Yeah, I hate texting and driving, dude. It's just, I can understand stoplights, right? I can understand red lights, kinda, but like while you're on the road, I don't know, like especially highways, I feel very uncomfortable on highways when it comes to texting and driving. But so you got an Apple Watch. So all you got to do is press a button and speak.
Not sponsored by Apple.
No, not sponsored by Apple.
No, we're fucking not after what we said earlier.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after we kept saying fucking faggots, I'm pretty sure that's what did it in. But
just walking up into the YouTube panel. What's up, you fucking car?
The YouTube panel or the Apple, like Apple's panels? They have
that too. Just walk into the Apple store. What's up, you fucking Lou? Fuck.
Genius bar. I tried ordering a drink from there, but they said it wasn't they don't serve alcoholic beverages. So I'm like, why the fuck you call it a Genius bar though?
I want my Apple Teeny.
Apple Teeny. I see what you did there. See, we can. It's like a game of tennis. We can go back and forth with this. But the thing is, there's no real winner.
Vince, what have you done to me?
I gave you cancer. That's what I've done to you.
No. Participating in the Steven Universe fandom gave me cancer.
I don't participate in the fandom. I don't participate in any fandoms. I told this whole story, but it's on episode 2. So I'm not going to explain it again unless people ask for it.
If you want to know Vince's experiences with episode 2, first you got to get 1,000 subscribers on this channel.
Probably, yeah. At minimum, let's go with, I'm a lucky guy. Let's go with 777 subscribers.
666 subscribers and we'll post the devil.
No, because the amount of times I felt slightly uncomfortable, the amount of like customers who buy items, and it's like it adds up to $6.66. That's where I'm like, oh.
I had a customer at my store who got an item and it literally went up to that number, and she went, you know what? I'm gonna get a candy bar and just add to that.
Yeah, because like you know what? I don't think I want this. I don't want that number on my receipt. Thank you very much. But yeah, it's just okay. So you got an Apple Watch, right? What else you did?
There's not much else. Like the beginning of this year was boring for me.
You didn't get a Switch. Well,
that was later on.
Yeah, that was later on. You didn't get it around the time when Zelda came out. You waited until like what? August, I believe.
Yeah, I actually pre-ordered it just before they were released from GameStop.
But you didn't pick it up till later.
Yeah. No, it actually was sent to me, so I didn't get it till a little bit later.
Okay.
And it was the $500 bundle, which came with Breath of the Wild, ARMS, and Mario Kart 8.
Okay.
And Breath of the Wild is... Oh.
Made you nut.
Yeah, I just threw up in my pants.
Made you Deku nuts. You want to laugh, but you're cringing at the same time.
I am going to kill you, Vince.
Did I use that right? That's my question.
What was that?
Did I use the word Deku nuts correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay, thank you. That's all I'm wondering. Thank you very much.
To those of you who want to watch a 1,000,000 subscriber special of me murdering Vince, please leave your comments below.
I will send you the link to a local red room to where you can see that happening.
Yeah.
Complete side note. Red rooms they're either real or not, basically. And it's from what I've been told, they're very, very hard to find. I'm not going to find any of them. Mainly because I prefer not being scarred for life. I mean, I am already, but I prefer not getting any further scarred for life.
We were already scarred for life when we watched that video about deep web experiences.
No, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's not the first deep web experience video I saw. Another one I saw was when, a girl, I believe it was a girl, went into this, got sent a link to this video, and she clicked on it. The link had no name on it or what it was about. It was just a video, dark room with a static TV. She clicked on it, and this is a dude in the corner. Then he ran up to the TV. Then he ran up to her screen. He's like, "Oh, you got me." And then she's like, "Can you hear me?" And you're like, "Oh, I see. It's one of those videos trying to psych me out." And it's just like, he's like, "Oh, it's a live stream. Let me chat." No, don't use your keyboard. Use your voice.
Oh, hell no. To the no.
It's like, and she's like, "You can hear me?" He's like, "Yeah, hold still. Let me get your address so we can meet up sometime."
God, no.
And she's like, "Fuck this shit." She actually had to turn her computer over to unscrew the battery to take it out. And she said ever since then, she left her laptop off, battery out, in a far corner, and she does nothing but use her desktop from now on.
Yeah, that's why you should use your desktop. You can just unplug it right away.
Fucking hell. My laptop has this little lock to where you just pull, then it pops out.
Yeah, mine's not nearly that easy.
You had to like unscrew it, don't you?
Yeah.
So if that were to happen to you, you would, first of all, knowing you when you're under pressure, you kind of fumble a little bit. So you have just on the first screw, like no, I don't want to get rapes. No, I mean I say I want to get.
Well,
fucked,
I mean some people
like,
are into that.
Yeah, rape plays a thing.
I don't understand that.
All right, let's not go down that rabbit hole, okay? I don't want to go anywhere.
Go down that rabbit hole?
Yeah, no. Like
the rabbit hole?
Exactly. I'm glad you caught on to that one. See, like I said, it's a tennis game. It's a tennis game here. But it never ends. And we're always suffering.
I'm dead inside.
I've always been dead on the inside.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
But January to April, not a whole lot has happened for you, right?
And what about you?
I lost my job.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I lost my job.
No, wait, you walked out.
No, it was end of season,
Mm-hmm.
and they asked me to stay, and I'm like, no.
So yeah, you didn't lose it. You gave it up.
Well, they didn't ask me to stay. They said if you want to stay, I would have to reapply and have to go through other interviews. But the thing is, they weren't gonna hire me because how they did it was like they had a budget, then they had sales, then they had losses. If the budget was over the amount of sales or something wasn't right, then they would have to let go of a few people. And I knew that I didn't make any sales, especially since the last month I was in purses, and I made no commission at all and barely any sales. Like, think about it, Jay. No one was there. The only time I had people come over is to either return stuff, buy stuff from other sides of the store. They were just too busy walking out and they didn't want to pay for it on that side. Because, like, their car's on the other side, like, closer to where we're at.
Yeah.
And, or just to ask to see a purse and then never buy it. You know? I
just love how they always ask to see the most expensive stuff, and they see the price tag and they're like, "Oh wow, that's way out of my price range." Madam, if I may be so rude, you are shopping for champagne and caviar on a water and Tic Tacs budget. Let's not go into that area. Let's try and stay within the water and Tic Tacs area.
Maybe a little more. Maybe let's go with probably Mentos and a Diet Coke. At the very most with them.
Yeah, if you're going to be shopping for those two things and you're looking and you have that kind of budget, I recommend you just drink the Diet Coke as fast as you can and then swallow those Mentos.
There's nothing wrong with window shopping. There's no problem. I mean, if you want to look at something, maybe think about it, save up money, whatever. But the thing is, like, don't have me unlock it from cabinets, please. And then be like, no, I'm good.
And also, don't take up our valuable time while we have customers who are actually willing to buy stuff. I've had that happen so many times this year. Customers are just looking, just looking. Can I get a discount? Ma'am, it's already 90% off. You cannot get anything else off. I no think. I just lost customers who were willing to buy an Apple Watch because you wanted to get a coupon off of 99 cents.
It doesn't make any sense. You know? But, like, think about it. I work 11:30 to 7:30 shifts. Basically, 8-hour shifts, maximum. Minimum 6. And I work, and I do nothing. And then my managers come around and say, oh, you gotta clean the area. Bitch, I've cleaned this area 4 times because there's nothing to fucking do. I wiped it so clean you can see the fucking microorganisms from your fucking blind ass eyes. You can see it. Because I look, they would tell me to clean when I had nothing to do. And I would clean. The first thing I do is clean. Because, like, I know no one's going to come around. I'm not going to clean, like, at 3 o'clock again. Even though I've done it 4 times. So I brought a book. I literally brought a book with me. And I started reading. You know why? Because no one was coming around. Hell, I finished half a book. That I already read, I think. No, actually, I finished the whole thing, actually. It's a small book. It's Old Man in the Sea. It's not that big. It's a pretty good book. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I finished the whole damn book within like a couple hours. Because no one was showing up. The only times I put it down was to go to the bathroom, go to my lunch break, or help a customer find an area. That was it. That's the only times I ever put the book down. And you know how boring that was?
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we love video games.
After that, I lost my job. So, not like they fired me. It was more like after I got my last schedule, after that, I tried to check next week, and it didn't allow me because like that's when it showed me like, oh, you're no longer, after this week, you're no longer with us. I'm like, okay. So I spent most of my days job hunting for the most part. Then I got to then Persona 5 came out.
And then you lost all social life whatsoever?
James, trust me, like the moment I saw the intro and I had the controller in my hand, like the amount of times that I threw up in my pants, both from my penis and my asshole, just within the first 5 minutes, it's astounding. Like it looked like a dirty diaper. It filled up kind of thing.
It's a shame it didn't win Game of the Year.
Yeah, a shame. Isn't it? I mean, to be fair,
we'll get to that later.
To be fair, there were some like issues there in the writing where I'm like, oh yeah, why did that? Okay. So what happened? So besides that, Persona 5 from April, I didn't finish it until like halfway or towards the end of June, which
Lord.
No, mainly because like I share a PS4 with my brother, so like every day I didn't have really a choice but to like wait a certain amount of days to play it.
Right.
So yeah, that's mainly the reason why. I remember this one time, I was so behind on Persona 5 that my friend and my brother finished the game already. Because my friend, he finished the game within like 2.5 weeks.
That's some record time right there.
Yeah, my brother finished it within the end of like, at the very least halfway through May is when he finished it. And I don't remember the details in that part, but they were rushing me. And then when June came around, that's when I started training for my other job at a different retail store, not too far from my house actually, which is easier and faster commute. So one of the days I was training, or rather one of the nights I was training, my family went to Gainesville, so I wasn't able to go because I was training. I didn't mind though. After I bought Burger King for dinner, I came on like around 9:30, and then I watched some YouTube videos, ate Burger King, and like from like 9:40 to like 10:30, or like almost 11 o'clock, I played Overwatch. Then after that, I drank some water, cleaned out the Burger King out of my system, made coffee, and then I stayed up all night playing Persona 5. I didn't go to bed until 8 in the morning.
Oh, good lord.
But then I woke up at 11:30, so it didn't really matter. Just to play it again. That's basically what happened.
There are some things in this life that you cannot skip out on. Video games is one of them.
I think it's nice to have those, like, how do I put it? Like 8-hour sessions, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is one YouTuber. His name's Sir Lionheart. He wanted to finish the game so badly for his YouTube channel that he started his Let's Play, or he started the last half of his Let's Play around like noon, and then he didn't finish the game. He kept playing it. The only time he stopped was to take a break. Like
what time?
Like to go pee, poop, get something to eat, whatever.
What time?
He didn't. He said it was like 1:40 in the morning. That is when he finished the game.
So he started at noon till 1:40 in the morning.
Yeah.
13 and a half hour. Good lord.
So yeah,
There's nothing holy about that duration of time.
But hey, man, it's nice having those sessions. I mean, the best thing about those sessions is to like get up and walk around, get food, whatever. Because like if you just stay in that room constantly, like, you know, people have died from having super late sessions because the clots would start to form. Then they'd stand up, and then all of a sudden it goes straight to their fucking heart, and they die. That's why I recommend like every
30 minutes,
every hour at most, get up, walk around for a bit, stretch, and then go back to sitting down.
I just imagine
because you're doing this. You're not really doing a whole lot of effort on that part.
I just imagine like an investigation going on. All right, so how did he die? Well, sir, he was playing video games nonstop for an entire day. My God.
What game?
Breath of the Wild. Oh, it won Game of the Year.
Oh, well, really? What the fuck? How could he? It's like, oh, what a shame. Fix the controller. Well, I guess we'll take this Switch for evidence. But, sir, evidence. Yeah, that's right. Taking this for evidence. It's like,
imagine if it was well, sir, he's been playing a video game for an entire day. Which game?
Watch Dogs.
I will kill you where you stand. Which game? Mass Effect Andromeda? He deserved to die.
Why didn't he die the first minute? What the fuck?
I'm only human.
Well, how did he make it past my face is tired? That's my question.
You see? We can be reasonable.
Just contort her body into a mass of just nothing but broken code. But
and then there's the Krogans fighting.
So here's the thing: the Krogans, like, that battle was horrible, but the Krogans, they're actually pretty cool species. Like, they can tank a lot of damage if you actually know about the lore and then like go into battle with them. But what I wanted to say was, what was I wanted to say?
That choreography in that fight was terrible. He just walked up and it was like two T-Rexes trying to punch each other.
It's like, come on. But what I wanted to say was, it's like that one scene when I talk about the guy taking the Switch just now. It's like that one scene. I know you haven't seen Rush Hour, right?
No.
So in Rush Hour 2, it's a good movie, by the way. It's fucking hilarious. But in Rush Hour 2, they were tied up in a truck filled with Chinese like statues, right? Like warrior statues. Like you know the ones you'd see in the in that one was in the wall where the soldiers were lined up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like those, and they were transporting those statues to a casino. While the two detectives were tied up in the truck, they somehow escaped, and then they broke the statues. It was each statues were filled with money, and each stack was like I think like 5 G's of $100 bills.
Oh Lord!
And Chris Tucker's character was like, oh my Benjamin or some shit like that, right? He grabs all the bills, he puts it in his fucking jacket, and Jackie Chan's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm taking this for evidence, and it just keeps stuffing in his pocket.
I mean, you would do the same, dude.
Would you?
Yes, but that's besides the point.
That's because they're counterfeit. Actually, they pass the ink test, they pass everything. The only way you can like, tell if it's counterfeit is you have to burn it, because with our ink it burns black, but with the Middle Eastern / Indian ink which they use,
burns white.
It burns red.
Oh, red.
So that's how you can tell it was fake, and all those bills and those statues were fake, for the most part. Like, it passed every single test besides the burning one. But like then again, what bank is gonna burn a $100 bill just to see if it's fucking fake?
All right, it's time for the annual bank fire. I'm sorry, what?
Woo! Yeah, we're gonna burn books next.
Oh my god! Next, we're going to burn das Juice.
Okay, here we go.
That went too far, dude.
Okay. Fun fact: did you know 60% of Germany did not vote for the Nazi Party?
Really?
Yep. 60%.
That's interesting.
They just forced their way in, and in a way, they
were like an unlubed fist next to an asshole. They didn't need to do anything. They just forced their way in.
For the most part, I felt bad for the German people. Like, because most of them, like half of them at the very least, didn't deserve what they got. Like,
they were just following orders.
But like the ones that were just living their lives, most of them didn't know anything about the concentration camps until Allied soldiers forced them to clean it up. That's kind of fucked in a way. It's like, all right, your leader of your country kind of fucked you over, so you have to clean up his mess. Oh, by the way, your country's split in half. Thanks, Soviets. Man, that year was weird. Those years were weird. But, all right, so from there on, how are we doing on time?
We're doing fine.
What's the timestamp?
About 40 minutes.
40 minutes? It's not so bad. All right, so I'm going to keep, you talk while I'm getting myself a glass of water, because although coffee is good, it tends to, Dunkin' Donuts coffee at least, tends to dry up my mouth.
I get you. So, how's everybody doing today?
Don't do your fucking ASMR.
Today we are doing a ASMR video. And that just got weird.
Hey, no shit, ASMR is weird. I mean,
it's like ear fucking. It's just like, it's weird, but there's something good about it.
Like I said, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, I don't particularly mind certain ASMRs, like the regular ones, like the noises or like the ear caressing shit. I don't care for those. Every now and again I listen to them, the normal ones. Like, because it's kind of like a quickie. I want to feel what that feels like, because sometimes I'm like, I forgot what it feels like exactly. Then I go back, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it feels like. 5-10 minutes max. Basically, it's like a quick nut and I'm out. But like, there are like 2-hour long ASMR videos, which I don't know how people can do that. And then there are the weird roleplay ones, like I told you earlier, there's just one that roleplays a games shop owner asking you questions if you want to join the rewards program or some shit like that. It's a little weird.
All right, we need to take all of the people who genuinely watch that on a daily basis and just lock them away.
What do you think they're doing? They lock themselves away in their own rooms listening to this kind of stuff.
Okay, good. So halfway through the year, anything else good that happened?
May to now.
I got my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Let's see. Like I said, I finished Persona 5 in June. Mm-hmm. Not much happened in May, actually. Probably, I think the only time anything happened in May was Guardians of the Galaxy. I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It's on Netflix already, actually.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Because I think there's a partnership with Disney and Netflix right now.
I gotcha.
Or a partnership that does certain movies. And I think they do Marvel movies. Because like, why did it took what, 10 months for Civil War to get on there?
Do you know how many times I watched that movie since it came out on Netflix?
5 times.
You're way off.
It's still a pretty good movie.
Oh, yeah, it is. I have a coworker who says that Civil War was awesome and that the Batman vs. Superman was amazing.
Civil War was awesome. Batman vs. Superman was amazing.
No, it was awful.
You said awesome.
Oh, sorry. They said that Civil War was awful and that Batman vs. Superman was amazing.
I want to know what their reasoning, what their line of thinking is, because Batman vs. Superman, besides the soundtrack and fight scenes, was shit.
Do you bleed?
Oh, okay. Batfleck was actually kind of cool. Batfleck himself was not bad. Because...
You know what could have made it even better?
What?
This is why Superman works alone. George Clooney as Batman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Batman and Robin was horrible, but for some reason I thought that George Clooney as Batman was pretty funny.
Because I think it's just, at that point, it's just whatever. And another thing is...
the way I kind of think of it is that...
Jim Carrey was the Riddler.
Yeah?
That, honestly, I can see that. Because the Riddler is just at least in some parts of the comics, is a goofy character. I mean, there's probably more to him than I know. But, like, for the most part...
Oh, yeah, I've actually done research on the Riddler, and he's actually... his character was actually pretty intense.
But, I mean, it was the 90s. And the 90s is mostly goofy.
Well, but, like, the Riddler, he left all of his riddles and everything, all of his puzzles all over the place, because it was a form of ADD. If he ever did a crime, or if he ever, left some sort of evidence, he always had to make it a riddle. He could not just leave something the perfect crime.
Mm-hmm. I guess you.
And it all stemmed back from his childhood because he was abused by his very stupid father, who thought that he was cheating on everything because he was a genius and his father didn't see it. It was like, holy crap, this is deep for someone who just leaves puzzles.
Yeah. Like I said, there's more to him than I think. It's just like I couldn't... For such a flamboyant character in the 90s, because, you know, the 90s is the 90s, I couldn't see Jim Carrey playing as anyone else playing the Riddler besides Jim Carrey. But I think it would have been nice to see some of the older Batmen make cameos.
Like the Adam West Batman?
I don't think he would have made it because he was way too old by that time.
Well, they actually did a cameo of Adam West Batman in Lego Batman. You ever seen that?
Nope. So I told you,
they literally just took a scene from the live action movie
TV show?
Yeah, of Adam West as Batman. And they literally described it, that weird one in 19-something. What was it?
1960.
1960.
I mean, to be fair, that one's just meant to be funny.
Yeah, back then, things were just campy.
60s were goofy. 90s was just weird.
90s was just weird. That's why we came out of them.
60s was silly. 70s was psychedelic. 80s was rock. 90s was just...
The fuck?
What? It just made you go... What?
The 90s. Our president was pictured with a chimpanzee.
Mm-hmm. Wait, which one's our president? The chimpanzee or the... Also, we had a rapist in the office. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Yes, he fucking did.
And then his wife tried to run this year. Ayo!
Twice. She failed. Good thing that didn't happen.
Yeah, or else we'd be screwed.
Whoop. But back to what I was saying. From May until now, not a whole lot has happened. Like I said, I watched Wonder Woman back in June, and that was actually, I think that was better. Personally, I think that was better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're about to get witch hunted now.
For once, DC made a good live action movie. Okay.
Oh, good. The drugs are kicking in.
Yeah. What I don't understand is that Marvel kicks it with live action films. But DC kicks more ass with their animated films. Like, DC animated films are probably top notch, trust me.
Speaking of live action Marvel films, I just got confirmation that Deadpool is going to be a PG movie now.
No, it's not. Fuck you.
Well, hey, that's what Disney's going to do.
What, because they bought Fox?
Yeah.
No, they're not. Trust me. Disney's not going to do
Is
that.
there any rated R Disney movie? Aside from Song of the South, but that's Song of the South.
That's because Song of the South is,
Zippity doo dah, zippity a.
Yeah, we don't talk about Song of the South. But, no, to my knowledge, not a whole lot. Not really. I'd say a lot of them are intense, but I wouldn't say any of them got, like, rated R. Maybe rated T? No, not even T. Not to my knowledge. Fuck. That's gonna bother me now, so I don't know what to think. But okay, so July, not a lot had happened. July, what did you do July? Nothing really besides work.
I worked just so I would be able to have my funds so I could go to BronyCon.
All right, yeah, you went there. Like I said in episode 1, he's the brony. I'm not. Nothing against bronies, but personally, I don't see. It doesn't appeal to me, the show, MLP, in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
No, I'm like with people who are watching. That way, they don't think we're both bronies, because I'm not. You are. I don't have. I just I don't want to confuse the audience. Basically,
I still dragged him to the MLP movie when it came out, though.
I enjoyed the Hanazuki short more, if I'm being honest. Like, I thought...
I honestly expected you to not like that part and then realize, hey, at least it's not as bad as the beginning part.
Hanazuki was kind of... I actually watched a little bit of the episodes they have on Hasbro's YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad, but, like... I wouldn't go out on...
cutesy.
It's more like something I would... How do I put it? For my little cousins,
mm-hmm.
like, when they were staying at my house at one point, because they got kicked... Their mother, and then their brothers all got kicked out of the house one time. We just, honestly, I would have, if I had known about that show, I probably would have just put that show on. Mm-hmm. Because one of those shows where it's like, I don't mind watching it.
It's one
with
of those
family members.
Yeah, it's one just to settle down and feel good with. It's not one to have actual, like, investment in.
It does have plot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's plot there, but, like, not enough to make me go, oh, okay, I need to watch the rest. It's more like, it's just cute. That's all I gotta say. It's interesting. But, what was I saying? So, July, you didn't do much, besides BronyCon.
What one month was it that we went to see My Neighbor Totoro in theater?
It was June.
June.
Yeah, that was my first ever Ghibli film.
And I was actually kind of upset when they started playing it because I realized it wasn't the Fox version, it was the Disney version.
Which I prefer more, actually.
Yeah, I compared it with him after he saw the Disney version in theater to the Fox version that I had on DVD.
Slight bias, but, like, mainly because, like, I just... For the most part, they sound natural. Like, either way, it sounds natural. But
well, here's what I've been able to put together. The Fox one had talented voice actors who were older but knew how to make the voices. Meanwhile, the Disney one had slightly younger voice actresses who, even though they were still talented, they weren't as good as the Fox ones, but they made it feel like it was realistic.
Yeah, that's what I was going to put it. Because, let's see, I never had a problem with those. Like I said, it's my first ever
Studio Ghibli
film ever. So, and the amount of times I tell people that beforehand, like, I've never seen a Ghibli film. I've never seen Totoro. I've never seen Moving Castle. I never even seen Ponyo. And Ponyo was widely advertised because it was Disney and Studio Ghibli.
Not to mention it had
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson.
Yeah. But. Yeah, I get the same response. It's just nothing but surprised gasps, like, and then I get some. They're like, "You need to watch it." Like, oh my god! And actually, oh yeah, was it this year or was it last year? Rogue One.
I think that was like early this year, wasn't it?
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rogue One came out. That was not bad actually. It's depressing as fuck, but.
We both saw it twice.
No, I saw it. Yeah, you and I both saw it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, fun fact: Princess Mononoke would have been my first Ghibli film, but a friend of ours rather, we went to go see that. Actually, we went to go see Princess Mononoke. It says that when we arrived, she said she'd never seen Rogue One, so therefore, I got outvoted to see Rogue One.
I mean, you weren't complaining, were you?
Not really, but I was how I am with movies and how I am with like it's the same thing with food. Like if I'm in the mood for a specific genre, that's what I want. Like at the moment,
Yeah,
you know?
I get you.
It's like if I really want a Philly cheesesteak, I want a Philly cheesesteak.
And of course, the funny thing was, our friend, she never even saw any Star Wars.
No, she
was
had.
not.
No, she had.
Oh, she has?
Yeah, I remember because like on the way to like one of her trips, she had a friend that had a laptop and they were watching all 6 Star Wars films.
Oh, good lord. That's right.
So she saw all of them. It's just, you know, they didn't really see a whole lot afterwards. So she just wanted to see what it was like since there was hype around it. So Rogue One happened.
And it was a nice movie, honestly.
Not bad, but I feel like Jin's character could have been fixed a little more. You know, like in the sense of like, like it takes her father to die to make her switch sides, but I was like at the halfway point. But she was already committed, so that's why I was like, whatever. I feel like there should have been more done with her, stuff like that. Besides that,
It was honestly a good kind of a dip into the idea of someone who didn't want to be on one side or the other, and how basically the series of events that happened because of the Star War, get it? How it basically forced her to choose a side because it did so much to her.
Like I said, it was okay. It was nice seeing some cameos of certain characters, even though one of them was dead, like that old one from episode 4.
Spoiler alert.
Right? Well, this movie's been out for like nearly a year, so it's just...
Spoiler alert, I'm going to sum it up in one Patrick Star quote. And then everyone died. The end.
Like, for me, it's like, I don't talk about spoilers until either A, all my friends have seen it, or B, it's been almost a year, if not more, since the movie came out. Like, if you haven't seen it, that's up to you. I mean, that's you. I mean, it's on Netflix. Like, it's already on there, so you have plenty of time.
Again, I've watched it way too many times.
I like the Dark Troopers because
the moment that I saw that, I laughed because they were just showing the normal stormtroopers, and then they sent in this set of ones in, what was it, camo or dark color uniforms?
They were black uniforms. They're not.
Yeah, they sent in the black uniforms. And I'm just like, yeah, send the stormtroopers who can actually aim. And then they started killing everyone. I'm like, oh shit, they actually did send the stormtroopers who could actually aim.
Because I don't think they're Death Troopers. Death Troopers have a special assignment. I think they're just Spec Op Troopers. I forgot exactly what they're basically called. But you know how they speak a different language, right? But like in that one scene when like one of the generals for the Empire got injured, like come on, let's go, right? Like people were thrown off about that. From what I read online, in the lore with those Spec Op Troopers, I'm not sure what the exact term for them are. I'm not sure if they are Death Troopers or whatever. But what they have is what is called a scrambler. If you know what that is, what it is where they still have to talk, right?
Right.
But like in their helmets, they hear commands, but the enemies just hear a bunch of jumbled up words.
Right.
So while they say attack the hill, they hear that's what it sounds like to them. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that's actually kind of smart.
That is clever.
That's smart. That's
Now,
horrifying.
I don't know why they don't make that standard issue, but that's nitpicking.
I mean, I think it's because like stormtroopers are just told go in, kill, because they're clones still. Around this time, they're still clones,
Right.
Because what in I'm not sure when they stopped using the clone program, and especially in sorry for the peak, but especially in the recent trilogy, they're not clones anymore. I think they're raised from birth, as in like they were stolen from from their own homes and then raised into
If I were to take a guess, I would say that after the events of episode 3, that was probably around the time when the
clones shit went all the way up. Like, it's fucking skyrocketed up to 3. But then I think around
the series of around the time when
late end of the trilogy, I think probably
of the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy.
The original trilogy.
I was actually going to say that maybe the clone program had to stop for one reason or another around the time of episode 4.
I think Kamino was decommissioned. At least that area was decommissioned after the Rebels won for the most part. Also, I kind of am a little disappointed in the only one thing I'm disappointed. Well, a few things I'm disappointed with the new trilogy is I haven't read the books, but I have read the Ricky stuff because I'm actually interested in Star Wars lore.
Yeah,
is like when the Emperor died. Like, I think there's one book called Star Wars: The Shattered Empire, where you know how like they have appointed generals in certain systems to watch over their troops, whatever, right?
Correct.
They didn't. Keep in mind, all the generals, for the most part, they didn't give a fuck about the Emperor. They just followed his orders because, honestly, 2 reasons: he's the fucking Emperor and he can do crazy magical shit that they can't do, and 2, Darth Vader. Those 2 reasons will make him go, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything, right? But since the Emperor is gone, Darth Vader is dead, and their own faction on their side has troops, and that they are now in command. Now they're all fighting each other for which has command of certain systems. Mm-hmm. So they just want power. That's all they ever wanted. So I kind of wish there was like splinter groups of other former Empire forces attacking the First Order, because I think that would have been interesting. I think that would have been cool to see like old ass fucking stormtroopers, not like they're not like
their armor is kind of decrepit.
They make new marks. They have like a new symbol on their chest plates to mark their new faction. And then they attack the First Order, and the First Order attacks them, and the Rebels see that as a chance, so they attack the First Order. That would have been a fucking I would have orgasmed in that battle. Like, just
George Lucas, please take notes if you're listening.
No, Disney has the reins now.
Oh, god damn it!
Disney has the reins now.
We're gonna send this to Disney World.
That's the one thing I'm actually a little disappointed in, because it was a bunch of splinter groups after the Emperor died. Mm-hmm. But to be fair, unfortunately, after Disney bought Disney bought Disney. Yes,
Disney bought Disney. Yes, we have so much money we can buy ourselves.
Disney bought the Star Wars license. I think 80% of the lore beforehand they deemed not canon.
Good lord.
So I don't know what's canon anymore. So that's the one thing I'm a little upset about. It's like which ones? You're probably going away now, right?
Fuck you, Disney!
Watch you hear one of your neighbors. Yeah, fuck them too. Yeah, I've always preferred DreamWorks. Fucking love Shrek.
Somebody wants.
You fucking peaked.
Yeah, I know.
That hurt. I must have hurt people. We are sorry about that. How are we doing on time?
I'm gonna trim the.
Is it nearly an hour?
Yeah.
Is it an hour or nearly an hour?
Nearly an hour.
Okay. So we don't want to make this a very long episode like we used to. I'd say
hour 30.
Hour 30, maybe hour 40, and that's pushing it.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of things to do after this, and it's just simply what's the word for it? Going back on this year, just to see what we liked, what we didn't like. There's not a whole lot I didn't like besides a bunch of like political stuff, but like I don't want to talk about that.
We'll touch up on political stuff once we know that we're
comfortable with what we're having set up.
Yeah.
Now. Once we're like many episodes in, we'll do anything.
Yeah.
We'll do what they want,
and then you guys can skin us alive whenever you want.
But it's more like I have so many discussions. I've seen so many shit happening that I don't care anymore. I'm tired of it, you know? So that's why I just made this podcast, just to chill, just to relax. That is why, instead of getting pissed off at what the fuck's happening, I'm getting pissed off at Disney for not making the Shattered Empire thing happen. Because, that would have been cool. Like,
it would have been pretty good idea, honestly.
Yeah, like the ones that were like not, let's say, not allies with the emperor, but were more like, hey, you're in my territory. What the fuck? All right, fuck him up, kind of thing. That would have been cool.
It would have also been cool to have one that was like an extreme follower of the emperor, like one that was a diehard follower of the emperor who saw Kylo Ren's faction and thought, holy
like,
crap, this
like
is
heresy?
not what the emperor wanted.
Like heresy.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, the fuck's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
You emperor want to be looking ass kind of thing.
Exactly.
Snoke is...
That would have been a cool idea.
Yeah. I think... I just feel like that would have been cool. I know there's another general that the Empire had. I think before it became the Shattered Empire, where it wasn't human, and they always got a bunch of shit. Right, this one general.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, you're not human. You're from this planet. You're a fucking creep. You're disgusting." However, supposedly he's such a brilliant tactician to where he crushed rebel forces to their knees with minimal effort.
Who the hell was that? General Grievous?
No. You know what happened to General Grievous, though?
But
What happened was these bug monsters... I forgot the name. This one colony, this one planet had entered Grievous's planet, right?
Yeah.
And they were systematically wiping them out just because they didn't like them and just because they wanted their planet for resources.
Mm-hmm.
So while his people were dying by the numbers, General Grievous... I don't know what his real name was. I'll just call him Grievous. He was a brilliant tactician to where he led his people to victory, but he also led the fight to their planet because he's like, hey, you fucked us up. It's time we fuck you up. But that planet, I forgot, the bug people that attacked the Grievous's planet went to the Jedi Council and told them that the Grievous's planet had systematically invaded their planet without any sort of reasoning, any sort of, like, just for purely war. The Jedi Council investigated it, and they took the bug people's side, and they systematically fucking destroyed Grievous's forces, critically injuring Grievous himself, while the clones put boots on the ground on Grievous's planet, killing, technically enslaving them, and forcing them to pay reparations to the other planet. While Grievous was heavily damaged, the Sith were able to find them, and they gave him this new... Well, Grievous, what he was basically a torso and an arms and body. It was like from here up. Mm-hmm. They kept him alive. He was burned too.
Yeah, because in the movie it was like
he kept
all his vital organs and his head.
Yeah, he kept coughing. You know why? Because he's still heavily damaged on the inside. But they told him, hey...
I'm so heavily damaged on the inside. Life is cruel and unusual pain.
Because they told him, hey, you hate the Jedis, right? Because, they kind of fucked you up and killed your people. And then they didn't properly investigate this problem. Mm-hmm. We hate the Jedis too. Want to join us? We'll give you a new body. We'll give you more weapons, more troops to command. And you can kill all the Jedis you want. How does that sound? Of course...
Your lightsabers will make a fine addition to my collection.
I
don't know why I made him sound Japanese there.
And of course, he, his answer. He said, "Fuck yeah."
Mm-hmm.
So, Jedi's weren't always, justice, because they tend to make mistakes too. So, if they hadn't done that, I think Grievous wouldn't have existed, and I think the Sith would have had. Because here's the thing. Grievous, although in the movies they made him out to me like just whatever, like keep in mind, look how many lightsabers he had.
Yeah, 4, at least.
He had more in the comics, and he had like,
4 that he could use.
Let me look at that up real quick. But I know that like he had training from Count Dooku, which you heard, and he was I think he also got training from Sidious himself. I think ways of like the Force, but I don't think he had the Force. How many
midichlorians did he have?
No, that's not a fucking thing, dude. That's not.
It's funny. So many people trash talk about episode 1, but it was so popular that episodes 2 and 3 came out. Like they could have just cut it at 1 and said, "Okay, we fucked up. Let's give it up."
He had 4, right? He used 4, but like. I'm trying to figure out, like, besides that, like, overall in the comics, like, what did he have? Um. Okay, that's he was a Kalish warlord, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what his people are called. They're called the Kali, or the Kalish, I believe.
Kalima. Sorry.
And he had he instructed Count Dooku to destroy a Republic medical facility which was treating 60,000 wounded clone troopers. He destroyed all of that. He wasn't one to fuck around.
Nope.
Let's see. They can learn more about his stuff. There's the attack, the retreat on Bathoui, Bathu. What the fuck? How do you pronounce that word? But
if we were to name this episode of the podcast, could we just call it General Faggot?
You can if you want.
Because we started off with Faggot, and then we ended up with General Grievous so far.
Let's see. I'm gonna read this. Who did General Grievous' lightsabers belong to? I will use the most reliable source ever, Reddit.
To be fair, Reddit people do not fuck around.
According to this, the Star Wars fandom. According to this Wikipedia, that's what they call it, the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
His first lightsaber was presented to him by Count Dooku and belonged to Master Sifo Dyas. His hunt for Jedi lightsabers started after the two Dark Jedi destroyed the majority of his Sith collection. His next mentioned saber was taken when he was wounded by Mr. Kuruk in 2003 Clone Wars series, the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grievous acquired 4 lightsabers in the same series when he was pursuing Chancellor Palpatine during the Battle of Coruscant.
So 4 more on top of those 2.
So he had a collection beforehand. He had Sith lightsabers, and then the Jedi's he took from were Rowan Karub, Fao Maudama, Roth Del Masona, and Bink Otria. The general later killed Pablo Gil aboard his flagship over the Immacupalis.
Okay.
And claimed his weapon as a trophy. He briefly held Nadar Veb's lightsaber until it was recovered by Kit Fisto. Grievous's collection also held the lightsaber of Darth Zana, a Sith Lord from the time of Bane. So overall, he had a fucking large-ass collection.
I think I counted 8 Jedi that he took his lightsabers from.
And we don't know how many he had with just Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically 7 because one of them...
So he killed 8 Jedi, unless I miscounted.
I believe so. Well, he got 4. And then
the one from Sifo Dyas, which, by the way, was also the one... Fun fact, was the one that apparently started the plan for the clone army. Mm-hmm. You remember that?
Yep. I probably should go watch the animated series again.
I really liked the animated series. I don't know why I didn't get into it.
I think it was the animation style because it was kind of, it takes some time to get used to.
It's like blocky, and I'm like, the fuck.
It's like 3D block, and it's just weird.
Have you seen the animated Darth Vader? It looks like pointy.
Also,
it's so pointy.
Also, yeah, I mean it's meant to be a story. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
With season 5, with 6 season 5, with this, out of the 6 seasons, 5 of them that air on Cartoon Network are canon. So, let's see. They took them as trophies. That's not the issue I have. The issue is how many lightsabers he had. Okay, so he belonged to Master Sifo Dyas. That's 1. Mm-hmm. Then his son for Jedi. So I don't know how many he had in his Sith collection. So that's just something we can't follow. So overall, he had Darth Zana, Sifo Dyas, Rowan Korob, Fal Madama, Roth Del Masona, Bink Utria. I had to pronounce it like that. It's B and then like a apostrophe INK. I know it's Bink, but I want to call it Bink because it's kind of, that's how it's...
The ink?
Yeah, Bink. And then there's Pablo Jill, so that's 7.
7.
Nadar, but Kit Fisto reclaimed it, and then there's Darth Zana, so he overall he has 7.
So 7, but he technically killed.
But
8.
he had more. I'm assuming, like according to his Sith collection, which I haven't found yet, there's more.
Oh God.
So that's the ones he collected from the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many he got from the Jedi, but overall he killed 7
Jedi,
or 8 rather. But yeah, 8 Jedi, but got 7 other lightsabers.
Damn. All right, so before we get too far into that, I think that we should actually go into the video game awards discussion before we.
Thankfully, I have that pulled up right here. I'll look up more about General Grievous's thing. Cause to be perfectly honest, Star Wars lore is very interesting.
We should have like an entire episode dedicated to that.
Yeah,
we'll record it on May the 4th.
The Time of Bane. Let me look that up real quick. Okay, so you can start off how we hung out before the Game Awards, and I'll look up the Time of Bane.
What did we do before the Game of the Awards again?
We went to the mall, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. We went to the mall, and then we got dinner from which, by the way, you ever had their Bosco sticks? So good.
It's just I'm not sure if it's statewide. Is it statewide?
I don't know.
I think at the very least, we may have pinpointed our location. But good luck.
I think it's a franchise.
But I was about to say, good luck trying to find this though, because at the very least, that's Florida. That's hundreds of thousands of people. Good luck finding us. I think you just
pinpointed our location. God damn it. So we got some pizza.
Hey.
Master Splinter, we got your pizza.
Did we make sure it's boneless though? That's the question.
No, I tasted some bones and I still ate them. And then I set up a table out in my backyard because I have a big fucking backyard. I set up a table, ran an extension cord all the way to it, and then set up a TV.
How long is that extension cord? Like 15 feet, 20 feet?
About 20.
It's about 20 feet? Okay. So that's like, we can go a little further if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Or were we at its limit?
Yeah, we were at its limit.
Okay, so.
I set up a TV. I set up the Apple TV so we could stream it.
It's pretty cold outside, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
But it was Florida's weird. It was cold and humid at the same time.
It had so much condensation on the power strip, I actually got scared.
That's why I think, like, on the power strip, next time we do it, I think we just put, like, a plastic wrap around it. And then, like, first we plug it in, then we put plastic wrap around it. And then that's when we leave it alone.
So I set up some good speakers, a TV, and the Apple TV. We had our pizza. We had a
little bit of a chimney, the chimenea, right?
Oh yeah.
And then we set up because it was getting pretty
nippy.
Pretty nippy, yeah. Like my nipples were getting hard before the Game Awards started. So what does that tell you?
So yeah, we had that set up and it was nice. Put some citronella oil in it so that the flies would stay away.
To be fair, it was cold enough to where mosquitoes weren't mostly active, but they were
inactive.
There were a few stragglers.
Yeah,
because you got bit in the foot, I think.
Yeah, I always keep my feet bare, so
dude,
that
like
fucked up.
when I was breaking apart firewood, I was tossing it in there, right? Half of them were hollow and they had termites in it.
Oh my god!
And I saw them. I didn't see them scream, but I saw them like running around, like where do I go? Because like at this end it was on fire, the other end just caught on fire, and they jumped down. There's more fire. I saw them go like. I didn't know where to go.
It must have been fun to watch.
I could have sworn I saw them all hold hands like that one scene from Toy Story 3 because they knew their demise was coming.
Oh man, don't make me cry, bro. So yeah, we had that all set up, and then we ate our pizza. We had some ramen soda.
I think it's pronounced ramen.
What?
I think it's pronounced ramen.
Either way, it's delicious.
I don't want the weebs to like call us out, you know.
Cause I'm a weeaboo.
Gotta make sure.
Filthy weeaboo.
Gotta make sure, you know. Gotta please everybody while not pleasing everybody at the same time.
And that's what this podcast is all about.
An oxymoron. That
Ding.
is what our podcast is just meant to be an oxymoron. That is it. Nothing more. But so we bought some snacks. No, did we buy any snacks? Okay, we did.
We had a few snacks.
We had a few snacks. But
Pocky.
like, yeah, we had. You had Pocky actually. Yeah. I bought the pizza. We split the pizza. Yeah, we split the pizza.
We split the pizza. I had 20 wings and it was glorious.
Now there's a chicken nuggets. I'm pretty excited for that actually. What else?
the chicken tenders.
The chicken tenders, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were pretty juicy. The thing. By the way, any restaurant owners or future chefs, by the way, well, giving you a heads up, we love our chicken. All right, we both.
We love our chicken. We might as well call ourselves black. We love our fried chicken so much.
That's what we were like. Here's the thing. I wanted to make that joke, but I was like, you know what? This is episode 3, so I'm gonna hold back. I'm gonna wait a little longer. But then Meta decides, you know what? I'm gonna be fuck it. Why not? The South will rise again, kind of thing. Right into this.
And to all the people in the comments, I can't understand you. Go back to your country.
And this is where we lose all. Look, we lost. I knew we lost ads the moment I said the word faggot, but I knew now we're not. Now we got age restricted.
Oh my god.
But hey, we get age restricted, but how come girls on Twitch always show off their tits and ass? By the way, not complaining as a straight man, but how come they get a freebie, but then I say the word fuck and all of a sudden I get banned? Twitch is biased. Actually, yeah, Twitch is biased.
Let's get to that one another day.
Yeah, I'll show you that. I'll show you videos on that later. But I'll tell you right now, Twitch is biased because, side note, one of the booby streamers, she said she had talked to one of the administrators on Twitch. She says when they receive reports, most of the time they just let it go. They just let it filter out. They don't care. Especially the ones that are legitimate, like the booby streamers streaming for explicit sexual content. They don't care. That's kind of fucked.
Can you send me a few of those later on?
Yeah, I was gonna show you later.
Oh, thank you.
But anyway, so we did that, and then
we watched the video game awards. Then we had so much fun during that time.
Even let's say even when we had to go because him and I both had work.
Yeah.
The next day, we were still watching it in the car.
Yeah, we streamed it on the phone, just like, yeah, man.
Okay, so I have the candidates pulled up. Actually, the winners. Actually, thankfully that didn't take so long. So
I was glad that Cuphead was not nominated for Game of the Year.
Cuphead won 3 awards, by the way. Cuphead won Best Indie Game. It won Best Debut Indie Game.
It earned that, but it would not have deserved Game of the Year. I'll say that much.
Yeah, PUBG won Best Multiplayer, but I find that funny because PUBG is now running from test runs from the Xbox One and the Xbox One X. They're running at a smooth, crisp, delicious 20 frames per second. Dude, PCs from 2002 can run faster than that.
20 frames per second. Wow, you must be a real fucking great game.
20 Here, Xbox One X was running at 24, 27 frames per second.
Good lord.
That's not a big difference. And the only reason why, once the game, because it all ran like that when the game was producing the world and the players and the vehicles and the ammo, so you can see where it can have trouble. By the way, there's 100 players, so you can see where the Xbox is struggling there. And the fucked up part is during E3, PUBG's announcers, I think Bluehole, or more like Blowhole, am I right, lads? But because they're liars. Anyway, no, I hate that company actually because 2 reasons. I'll explain in a minute. But they announced that they said on one of their posts that PUBG will run a smooth 60 frames per second on the Xbox One X. Hours later, they retracted that statement, saying they're still doing tests to make that their goal is 60 frames, but minimum is 30. And they took a step back. I'm like, wow, because I bet they got so ambitious. It's like one of those guys who are like, yeah, we're gonna do this, yeah, we're gonna do that, yeah, we're gonna keep doing this, yeah. Now we're gonna kill all the Jews. Wait, what?
Oh god.
Wait, I'm sorry. We were all for you till just that.
I thought we just got off of the kill all the Jews statement. Of course, speaking of ambitious, I loved that one guy that was promoting his game. The game looked pretty fun, by the way. The one about the prisons, the prisoners.
Yeah.
We gotta play that sometime.
No, he was like, what was he like? He's like, fuck you.
No, he literally went, is it okay if I swear? And the announcer went, well, yeah, of course, it's the internet. And the guy just took the microphone. Fuck the Oscars!
How do you feel about that?
That was amazing.
Or the Rock's a little passive aggressiveness on the little Jumanji thing is about his game he was featured on like back in the early 2000s.
I forget which game
it was. He was like, yeah, I got a 3 out of 10. 3 out of
3 out of 10. Fuck you.
Yeah, that was.
Oh man,
my favorite.
That's one of the things I liked about the Video Game Awards. Was
that
it was so candid. It was nice and like relaxed. About
that
everything.
one when they were announcing Best Action Game too. That one guy, that one movie actor is like,
yeah.
And the Game Award goes to, oh man, I gotta pay a microtransaction to open it. Hang on, guys.
Oh man, that's the great thing about the VGA is that everyone's so candid about it. There's no censors. There's no political drive about it. Fuck the Oscars.
That's the amount of political. The only politics in the Video Game Awards are how much we hate EA. That is it. But this was your first Video Game Awards, right?
Yeah, it was.
Mine was like back when I was like 12, when they used to show it on TV when it was hosted, or it was Video Game something. I remember that because it was hosted by Samuel L. Jackson. Then it ended, and then I forgot his last name. Jeff Knightley, I think that's his last name, started it back up again and actually made it more independent, more free. That way you don't have to worry about like TV censors and whatnot. That's why you're allowed to curse more often on that than you are on the TV ones.
Of course, the best part was when it went to the Game of the Year one. Now, Vince is a massive fan of Persona 5.
What are you talking about?
And I was a massive fan of Breath of the Wild. So when both of those were announced, it just suddenly turned into Civil War.
Captain America.
Exactly.
But
like we were driving away from the house, and we were announced the nominees, and as soon as Breath of the Wild was announced and Persona 5 was announced, I just went, Vince, please, Zelda is my friend.
So was I. But here's the thing, it was like Persona 5. I knew it wasn't gonna win. Like here's the thing, it was facing against tough competitors like Super Mario, and like I said, Breath of the Wild, and a bunch of other games too. Like I had a feeling it wasn't really gonna win.
You were more proud of the fact that it was a nominee.
Exactly. Was I hoping it would win? Yeah. Was I slightly salty? Of course. But hey, I'd rather that win than PUBG, because PUBG is just multiplayer based and you pay monthly. And it had no substance.
If that game had won, we would have done a suicide pact right then and there.
I will say though that the more cringy Persona 5 fans did take to the forums, they got really pissed off about it, which I'm not really happy about, because I feel like that's kind of pushing it,
Go back to reading your Persona hentai.
You choked up. Was that on purpose or was that?
Nah, I just choked on a ghost stick.
That ghost dude was like, "Fuck you, I like Persona."
The ghost was just like, "Hey, those Personas are great, and those waifus are even better."
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So a bunch of other games won too. Like Cuphead won 3 awards actually. So
I was impressed by the fact that an indie game won that many, but if Cuphead had won, I would have been upset because that game was way too overhyped, honestly.
I will say Persona 5 did win an award, so it was best role-playing game, which makes sense.
Oh yeah.
And then best mobile game was Monument Valley 2.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know much about it. And Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which is also an indie game, but had enough funding to do 3D modeling and everything, won 3 awards for best performance, best audio design, and best games for impact, as in like how you felt after you played. Injustice 2 won best fighting game. Nintendo won Best Studio/Game Direction. The Last of Us Part 2 won the Game Award for the most anticipated game of the year, or for to come, I think.
So it's not out yet, but they said that it's really
it's the game that people are looking forward to.
Yeah,
the most. Forza Motorsport 7 won best racing game, but no one fucking cares about that. Let's see, and then you've got a bunch of other ones. Curl Shaw won Industry Icon Award, which I think that's their first Industry Icon Award they've announced, where she was the first female gamer creator to create that one river game for
River Raid.
River Raid. Yeah. So props to her.
She must have had such culture shock when she saw what games could do right now.
Even her, remember she said her boss was like, "Oh, it's fine. It's about time we got a woman in here." But like she did just as good of work, if not a little better, than her coworkers.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it wasn't for her helping pioneer this industry, who would have known?
You hear that, Anita Sarkeesian?
That's how you do it. Instead of complaining about too much cleavage.
Exactly.
I will say one other thing too, is that there was a time where video games just stopped, like in the mid '80s.
We don't talk about that time.
Because one of these guys, he was like in his early 30s. I know he worked at one of the stores at the mall. He was talking to me about this, because he was growing up around the time where games just stopped because you didn't hear it wasn't as mainstream it is now, where you had to look it up on articles, magazines, and it wasn't doing much. But guess what? Game kicked it back up, because they would have been the death of the video game industry if this game wasn't there.
Which one?
Super Mario.
Yeah.
Super Mario helped get it back up again.
Well, and technically, didn't The Legend of Zelda also kind of make it more?
Yeah,
of a
so Legend of Zelda,
thing?
like Mario kicked it back up, and then Legend of Zelda and everything. Like these games from Nintendo kept pushing. They kept pushing
because
out.
with Legend of Zelda, I actually watched a video about it, and the original Legend of Zelda, it wasn't even meant to be like a game to invest your story into, but rather it was a game that you needed to discuss with the community in order to understand and fully complete.
A lot of those games back then were like you had to finish in one go, or else you had to start from the beginning again.
Right.
Because if you didn't finish, like man, you're a fucking loser. Like, get out of here. Go back to your arcade machines and your fucking commie sodas.
Remember, winners don't do drugs.
Except steroids. In which case, use lots of drugs. If you can get that reference, thank you very much. Okay, so let me read off the other list of the other ones. Best esports team, Cloud9, for those who care about esports team. Best esports game, which was Overwatch, which had actually pretty tough competition. There was League, there was Dota, there was Counter-Strike. There was a bunch of games that were heavily esports related that I thought were going to win. But
when you get a good laptop, we need to start playing esports games.
Let's see. That's the thing too. I prefer the PC. Like I want like this, not like. But you've seen the little.
You look like the guy from South Park. He has no life. Where it looks like Jabba the Hutt, just curled up in the corner.
There's a bunch of other games. There's best ongoing game is a game that let's still continue, that maintains its fan base, that's maintained its multiplayer base, that keeps constant updates and whatnot. Is Overwatch again. Best score soundtrack belongs to Nier Automata.
I was impressed by that, honestly.
Yeah,
I thought that
either
Breath of the Wild. Yeah. I thought that either Breath of the Wild or Persona would have gotten it, because Breath of the Wild has a lot of orchestral stuff, which is usually a winner in that case.
And Persona 5 is just
balls
to the wall, like, yes, fucking do this.
Do you know how many times we drive around our town and we just listen to Persona 5 music?
Like, I love the soundtrack. I'd say there's more songs on this one more songs that I've really enjoyed than 4's, because 4's soundtrack, because once you start playing it, because I got to give you the PlayStation TV and you got to play Golden. By the way, Golden's canon now, but 4 isn't.
And Persona DDR is canon?
Well, Persona 4 Dancing on Ice is canon.
Why is Persona DDR canon?
I doubt that Persona 3 Dancing All Night and Persona 5 Dancing All Night is going to be canon, because they don't have an idol to make it canon. Because it made sense for Rize to have her friends be her new backup dancers, right? And you're just going to walk away from that?
You never see it coming!
In case I'm surprised. You really peaked there, like right there.
How did I peak from all the way over there? I walked to the other side of the house.
Well, to be fair, the floor is connected to this table, which is connected to this laptop. So therefore, you created a mini earthquake on this time. But I will say, my favorite song from the soundtrack from 5. Of course, everybody has different opinions. For the most part, I'd say a good majority of the fans would say "Rivers in the Desert" would be their favorite song for the soundtrack. And I can see where they're coming from. it's not as great as they make it out to be, but like it makes sense with the context it's in, which is like the final boss fights, which is pretty cool. But I'd say, like I said before, it's the songs that make me feel like I'm there. It's the songs that make me feel something, right?
Right.
Besides hype and like whatever. 'Cause I don't, as much as I love the hype behind certain songs, and I'm like, yeah, I need more emotion to make me go, this is my favorite.
Well,
right?
that's part of why when we drive around town, we usually play Beneath the Mask.
That's what I'm saying. Beneath the Mask is my favorite song from the soundtrack because it. I'm not sure if you know this, but the song's actually about the main protagonist because it gives him a little bit of personality. Because if you look a little more closely, because it's like he's alone technically. Because like before, even with all these people, he's still alone because his parents moved him out because of his probation. Sakura's kind of an ass to him because he's like, why do I have to take care of this criminal piece of trash kind of thing? But he's like, well, I said yes, so why the fuck not? You better start working, boy. And then his friends are like, oh, the school thinks he's just a troublemaker who stabs people if they look at him the wrong way. The teachers treat him like, oh, I have him in class? Oh, great. Like, you can see where that song is like, man, I'm bummed out. But it's a nice feel-good song to come home to. 4 didn't really have a song like that. Oh, it did, but it wasn't great.
I'd say that the best song to jam out to in Persona 4 soundtrack is the animation opening.
Because you watch the animation, you got used to the. It tastes a little bit of sweetness in this little water for some reason, but yeah, probably because of that. But you got used to the opening due to the fact that when you're watching the show, you liked the beginning, you liked the first opening, but then you got used to it. You were like, yeah, kind of thing. You were getting into it more. And
then when the second one came up, I wanted to cry.
The second one, actually, this may sound, you probably might hate me for this. I actually really enjoyed the second one more than I liked the first one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to kill this man.
Because like I like the lyrics, I like the meaning behind both of them. I'm saying like it's just like that kind of thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to brutally murder this man.
I don't know, man. It's just I really like how it went. 3, if I were to tell you my favorite like Persona soundtracks by order, it's 5, 3, then 4. Like that's how it works.
Ladies and gentlemen, please ignore any murder attempts that you hear about on the news in the state of Florida.
Jesus Christ, you just keep doing this. Because like, what is it? 4, although it had really good music, it had this J-rock feel, and I like rock. Like, especially, okay, look, we're talking about the games this time, where you hear the song Reach Out to the Truth constantly. So eventually Reach Out to the Truth kind of grates on your ears a little bit. And that's not what I like. Because eventually I'm like, reach out to the truth. I have to sing out along with it to be like, okay, I don't want to, like, it's like, I don't want to hear it again, so just let me fucking go through it. Let me just kill these guys so I can get to the next level. Because the dungeon themes are more interesting than the reach out to the truth. Personally, I think my favorite dungeon from 4 has to be, what's his fucking name? I'd say...
You're my favorite, yes. I can't remember my favorite.
No, because I forgot his name for a second. Adachi's, although it was fucking annoying with some parts. Like there was this one area where you said, "All right, I'll let you proceed." The catch is you cannot get caught by a shadow, or else you get sent back to the very beginning of the dungeon.
God.
So it's like, fuck. And it's like this large grid like map where you have to follow certain trails. You have to find the opening. There's some. And the one dungeon I don't understand, which I didn't like, had to be Naoto's. I didn't like Naoto's dungeon because what you have to do, you have to get a key to proceed, right? What you have to do, you have to go to floor 6, then you have to go back to floor 4 to get the key, and then go back to floor 6 to unlock the door. Right? See?
What? What?
Because the boss doesn't appear until you go to floor 6, and you have to walk all the way back to floor 4.
The fuck? I'm lost now. It would be better if I actually played it.
Yeah, it's just the game. The show does probably the closest thing I can think of. Whatever. I will say though, You won't. There are some things in the show that you won't. There are some things in the game that aren't in the show. For example, that one delivery girl. Yeah, she's never in the game. Just giving you a heads up.
Just leave the bowls when you're done.
But if you take the bowl challenge, Mr. Aya, the guy that owns the restaurant, he always tells you, "Oh yeah, I got a daughter around your age, eh? You know, she's not here. She's out and making a delivery." There's references to her, but she's never shown. That's why.
You know, I really hope I can do the rainy day challenge one of these days.
You have to get all your to do it. What you have to do is get your stats to a certain point. Well, it doesn't matter because if you have enough money, it raises your stats a good amount, so it's good.
Oh God. I want to do the rainy day challenge in real life if we have a chance.
Also, by the way, his wife is Yukiko. Just in letting you know.
Is there a problem with that?
I'm just letting the fans know.
Is there a problem with that?
Personally, I prefer Chie, but that's just how I am. Why is that upside down? Why is that upside down? But, so, we're off topic. Game Awards.
Game Awards. We're almost up with time.
So Breath of the Wild won a bunch of games. Resident Evil 7 won Best VR Game somehow.
I have yet to see footage of Resident Evil 7 VR.
Metroid Samus Returns won Best Handheld Game. JX3 HD won Best Chinese Game. Yeah, don't worry. There's no other games I can see that because this Game Awards was the first time it was ever streamed in China. I think this one. It was last year. First time ever streamed in Korea. This year, first ever streamed China, Korea, Japan, those countries. So that's why there's nominees for Chinese games for them. We didn't get to see it because we don't know what the games are. For them, they do. So
so they would have just changed up the stream a little bit.
Yeah, they would have just had it shown because I guess during one of our commercial breaks, they shown the Chinese game to them. So it's not a problem.
Speaking of commercials, we saw some very interesting previews.
Let's see. We saw.
What was the one from Software?
It was just a bloody wheel. It was just a bloody kind of thing.
Like a bone on a like fly rod. It was the most simple thing. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I'm like, what is this? What is it? And it said From Software. I'm like, I need to know. I want to pre-order it already.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just busted a nut at that moment.
Out of my asshole.
Yep.
Don't worry, it's not mine.
What the fuck? Good night, everybody.
But there was that one. I'm trying to remember. There was this one. What's that? Vacation simulator. That was just weird.
That was just funny.
That was just...
It's job simulator for vacations. I hope that you enjoy vacation.
Let's see what other ones were out there.
There was also the one by what's his name.
I know. I'm just thinking. I'm trying to avoid that one for now, so that way I can talk about the other ones. But the thing is, I'm having a hard time remembering the other ones.
Well, there was the prison one, which was cool.
Yeah, that was like. There was that one.
Is it wrong that if we play that, I want our opening to be the prison school opening?
Copyright. First, we have to find an English cover and ask that guy's permission.
Yeah.
That way.
And then we have to do live action clips from it.
All right. So let me stick a metal stick up your asshole.
Oh god.
Because Kiyoshi had his ass ripped constantly in that show, both metaphorically and physically. First by a high heel.
Oh my! I appear to have dropped the soap.
That was by accident. That one scene. I remember that we watched that show together. That was like my third time watching the show. No matter how many times, when he was sneaking through the other the little passage for the water thing, and that one girl's heel slipped.
Oh!
I saw you go, like your full body went. Ah!
And then afterwards, his hemorrhoids are acting up again. Oh god.
Okay, here's the thing too. Like, for anal sex, right? This is completely on. This leads into this. You have to push out so that way something goes in, right? Same thing applies with like doctors checking your prostate. They tell you to push out to stick their finger in. If they stick it in without you pushing out and you just have it clenched like that. And also the second time when that one dude Joe's ants got fucked, remember? Not on purpose, because like the crows have a ritual called anting, where like they get the smell of ants on them, so that way other bugs like, okay, no, I don't want to be part of this. Ants fuck them up, right?
Right.
So Joe grabbed a piece of stick, which was somehow sharpened to a shank, and then Kiyoshi stepped in, and that went in his asshole too.
The microphone's acting up for some reason.
So sorry about this, guys.
There we go. I think it's good.
So surprisingly, I'm surprised Kiyoshi didn't have a fucking infection by any of those. You know,
the number of times he had stuff stuck up his asshole or just crap blood.
I love the opening. Something acting up?
Yeah, the microphone's being weird.
Yeah, we had a couple of technical issues recently, but it's okay, guys. So, what I wanted to say was, I don't know, the opening was kind of cool. You really enjoyed Prison School, though. For what it's worth.
It was messed up, but it had its great moments to it. I still salute that one moment. Gakuto when he had to shit himself during class.
It's for an honorable sacrifice. Or when he had to break his own toy that he spent several thousand yen on that is limited edition and won't appear for the next, 10 years? Yeah.
The poor guy.
Yeah. You saw the tears stream down his face while he was walking away?
You saw the tears stream down my face when I saw that moment.
Because it was the honorable sacrifice. He did it to save his friends.
Like, it was literally the moment that he held the microphone up to his butt. We both just stood up and gave him a salute.
It was just like, God, you didn't have to. Because he ruined his social life.
Yeah.
You do realize that, right? But it was later restored when the rest of the school found out that...
that it was a hoax?
That even after the one that was their fault, right? Mm-hmm. The rest was set up by the school.
Yeah.
Or by the student council.
Yep.
So the school was like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you guys? Like, yeah, they kind of fucked up, but like faking this shit so that way they get expelled, isn't that kind of fucked? Yeah, that's where I was like kind of interesting.
But yeah, we need Prison School as an opening if we're gonna do a let's play of that game, and that game looks great, by the way. The characters are basically like the two of us.
Which one are you though?
I thought I was the one with the beard, but then they showed their personalities, and one was more flamboyant and more heavy lifting. The other one was more calculating tricky.
Isn't the bigger dude into like getting physically hurt? Remember that one bigger dude's into getting physically hurt?
You're talking about Prison School still?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I thought I was talking about the game.
The game? Oh yeah. Because you were like, no, I'm Vincent, and then you heard a personality. He's like, no wait, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's a shame that I have to be the Jew, though.
Because they're both Jews. They're both Jews.
Well, have you seen the schnoz on the other one?
God damn it. Like, what do you got? Why is this Hate the Jews episode?
Hey, Jews and black people, okay?
Welcome to Mein Kampf podcast. Where we discuss the things that Hitler was kind of right about.
My God.
I don't think we should stop right there. Like that's where we should stop the jokes right now. But I wanted to say was, I'm trying to remember the other trailers. I'm sure we can discuss that in another podcast.
Yeah.
Or another episode. But I think what we should end it on is talking about the one that stood out the most, which was obviously Death Stranding, because...
You mean Acid Trip Simulator?
Yeah. So I want, first of all, I've been talking a little too much, so I want to know your thoughts. You go ahead on Death Stranding. Go ahead.
What the fuck?
Long answer?
I want to know what the fuck is going on. A real answer this time.
Yeah.
Is what the fuck is going on? I like how it has a lot of imagery that you need to decipher. But damn. All I know is they're paranormal, they're invisible, and if they catch you, you're fucked.
Each one has a different power, it looks like.
Yeah.
Like, you saw that one dude's age underneath the little metal building thing? Yeah. You saw him go from, like, his early 30s to, like, his late 60s. Mm-hmm. Like, here's the fucked up part, too. Even if he survived, can you imagine how horrible, like, his bones must feel? Because it's quick aging. Yep. It must feel like shit.
Like arthritis on steroids.
Yeah. So, and the worst part is they dragged him away. We don't know where they were going. Or that one dude that had...
Please don't probe me. Please don't probe me.
or he tried to shoot himself, but they dragged him, so they shot him like right here. And then here's the thing.
That's gruesome.
It's one thing to be afraid of something to where you shoot yourself, but it's another thing to where you're afraid of something so much to where you're willing to stab yourself constantly to not be eaten or whatever by this thing. I saw your face when you pulled out the knife. You kept stabbing yourself. You were like, ah.
Oh my lord!
And the worst part is he wasn't dead.
No, he wasn't. He was still alive
until he got consumed, which then he is dead now.
Yeah,
but
let's just say he wishes he was dead.
We still don't know what the baby does. Honestly, we don't know what the baby does.
It's some sort of demon, baby. Get out of this house, demon! Get out of this house, demon!
I also feel like the different beings we saw that we saw at the end, where they were just standing in the middle, like in the air. I feel like they're the monsters, or they at the very least they control whatever monsters they have. It's just that each monster or whatever ability that each individual has is different. Like that one did aging. That one was large and was combustible every time it consumed a organic being. So I think each one has like a different ability or something.
I saw a lot of Lovecraftian stuff in that
especially
trailer.
that large creature thing.
Yeah.
The first thing you said is, what the fuck?
That's what I said throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of that stuff is very Lovecraftian based, and Lovecraftian horror is hit or miss. Sometimes it's done excellently. For example, in Amnesia, a lot of that is Lovecraftian. But sometimes it's just
like, oh, okay.
It's Cthulhu.
But besides that, I think that was probably the showstopper, the one that stole the spotlight.
And who was responsible for that?
Hideo Kojima, Norman Reedus, and Guillermo del Toro.
The Holy Trinity.
Here's the thing: Guillermo del Toro tends to make dark and kind of fucked and also mind fuck kind of movies, right?
Yeah.
Also, Hideo Kojima is a mastermind behind stories, especially with Metal Gear Solid series.
Well, yeah.
With all the twists and turns that the game has. There's so many twists and turns that supposedly there's the one game. What Metal Gear Solid? Wow, Metal Gear Solid game that had the most mindfucks. I haven't played any of them except for Phantom Pain, but the one that had the most mindfucks, according to fans, I believe, was Metal Gear Solid 2, which they said it's the most mindfuck game they've ever played. So you can tell.
You just take Hideo Kojima's dick and just slam it into your brain. That's pretty much it.
And Hideo Kojima is 54, by the way.
Damn.
He looks like he's still in his 40s.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's doing pretty good. Also, their slogan for their company is "Oh yeah." That's why Hideo Kojima said "Oh yeah" at the end.
Wow, they stole their slogan from the Kool-Aid Man.
It's just, or like it's just like because Hideo Kojima is happy to be in his own company now. You know. I might just buy a T-shirt from Hideo Kojima.
So basically, when it was kicked from his previous company, he just went, "Fuck you."
Yeah. But it's probably like I said, we can talk about the awards. We can talk about oh, this game won this. We can go into technical detail. But here's the thing. A lot of the games we've never played. We haven't watched gameplay of it, except Cuphead, PUBG, and a few other games. But I'd rather not make this into a 3-hour podcast about something.
We're already way past the time that we thought we would be at.
What is it, 150?
Almost.
So, yeah, 148. But, it's just... We don't want to, tread into areas to where we don't have much experience in.
Right.
And...
This is coming from the points of views of people who either haven't played the games, but have heard about it because of the Video Game Awards, or have seen Let's Plays of it, which is one of the greatest advertisements they could do for a company.
Yeah. So, the reason why I don't really talk about, Wolfenstein or...
Wolfenstein Das Juice.
Oh, to be fair, that one's okay because the game's about Nazis anyways.
Exactly.
But Fortnite or any other games like that.
Call of Duty World War II.
Yeah, we don't really talk about that mainly because either A, we don't have the interest in it because a lot of these categories, I'd say half of them were never shown. best racing game. I don't think I've ever seen it win. B, we don't have much experience to talk about it. We'll graze on it. We'll tell you a little bit about it. Maybe
this is from personal experience, not from the real experience.
Maybe if it catches our interest enough, I can do research on my iPad, which I have right here.
Yep.
So it could do that. Or C, we just don't talk about it at all to where, because like we don't really have enough experience, or we don't know much about it, so there's kind of no point.
Please donate to our Patreon, and we'll be able to get right to those games.
But overall, I think the showstopper, besides Game of the Year, besides the little mini concert they had, which was actually kind of cool.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, there's not much to say about that. It was cool. They just had a bunch of
epic.
All they did was they got a bunch of all the soundtracks from all the game nominees and put it together. So I thought that was cool.
You almost orgasmed when you heard the Persona one.
Yeah, I heard that one because like it was nice hearing it in a concert.
Oh, and when I saw the advertisement for Champion's Ballad, I nut. I had a nut.
And then you were like, oh, thank God, that felt so good. And then all of a sudden he said, oh, by the way, Champion's Ballad, it will tell you the release date. It's tonight. You had a second nut.
Yep.
You were like,
yeah, I was just off of the high of the first one. And it's being released tonight at midnight. Oh.
It's like that scene from Home Alone when he kept getting electrocuted. It's like,
and then it just turned into a skeleton.
Can you edit that in? Like,
I wish.
Like, not like edit it in later. Not like play the full audio. Just play the little GIF of it going. You know, just him going. Yeah. Oh man, it's just because I felt the same way too.
Yeah, it just like when they were first showing the advertisement, it was like, and then when it went to the Champion's Ballad, and it was a skeleton.
Yeah. Because what you already?
I think I peaked the mic.
You already finished the game, right?
No, I am nowhere near finishing the.
No, you're getting there.
No,
like I said you're getting there. You're on the way, but you're not there.
Oh my God.
All right, so
I'm stuck on the survivalist island.
But overall, I think this is a good place to end it, personally. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm not sure this episode will be released Sunday, New Year's Eve.
I'm going to try and do a better job with editing than the previous one, so it might be released a little bit later, but I'm going to try and make it as fast as I can.
Not too far away from New Year's Day.
Right.
Overall, everybody, so far, although we did this like late in the year, October, Halloween is when we started. We did record an episode 2 days after Halloween to tell us about our things. But unfortunately, again, we lost the save file. We don't know where it went.
Again, if I can find it by the time we reach 1,000 subscribers, I'll be putting it up as 1,000
subscribers. We're like
Hillary
Clinton. We don't know where the emails went. What are you talking about? What emails?
Dude, let's not get into politics.
I know I was making a joke.
We can make jokes about Jews. We can make jokes about black people. We cannot make jokes about politics.
To be fair, even the people that weren't into politics made fun of Hillary's emails.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's funny. Anyway, what I wanted to say was, for those who want to keep sticking around, those who enjoyed episode 1,
you might want to get some mental help first. But
I mean, to be fair, we make a lot of jokes. I recommend, if you're gonna listen to this at work, keep your headphones on, and then press pause every time. I recommend using Bluetooth headphones. That way they don't get yanked out of your head.
Apple AirPods. Those things, they're hidden. They can work. It's not sponsored by Apple again.
Again, or like other Bluetooth headsets that last long, you know? But
something like earbuds.
Because here's the thing. I don't want you to get fired. I don't want you to be like, one of your coworkers, hey man, you want to get lunch? I'm sorry. Then he yanks out, das juice. Yes. It's like, what are you listening to?
I'm sorry, boss. What did you say? Pulls out the headphones.
It makes it worse.
We enjoy our fried chicken. Well, you might as well call us black people.
It could be worse. I mean, what if the boss was actually Jewish? Like, they said, like, you know, like, welcome. And the first thing they hear is, welcome to Mein Kampf podcast.
or what if your boss is gay, and then the first thing he hears when the earbuds get pulled out, faggot.
Mein Kampf, yeah. Das see, we're having a little too much. I think it's more the German accent. It's funny to use, honestly.
In memory of such a horrible occasion, I might as well sing a little memorial song. Let's gather around the campfire and sing our campfire song. Please subscribe.
What I wanted to say was, thank you for those who wanted to stick around, or who really enjoyed episode 1 and probably shared. More than likely not, because it only had like 20 views. But thank you for 20 views, though. I mean, that ad revenue, ooh boy, we only got no cents at all.
We're getting negative cents. We have to pay YouTube to put them up.
To be fair, we're not doing this for the money. The money is a nice side benefit, but we're not gonna. That's not the reason why we did this. Like,
and please remember to donate to our Patreon.
We don't even have a Patreon yet.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. I think it's complete sign up. I think the people who go into YouTube to make money, like millions upon millions of dollars,
Jake Paul,
Bryce Gum, I feel like you're in the wrong business because although it's easy and you can be successful, there's nothing wrong with going for success. It's just when you are going purely for the money, I think that's where the problem is. We're just...
If you're going in to try and make content, not just for the money, but for your fans, like Markiplier, for instance,
or
then you're in the right.
Or like smaller channels, like countless smaller channels, for example, like, right? Does the money help? Yeah, it's a nice side benefit. But
it helps so that you can grow your platform.
But it makes, I mean, they just do it for fun. You know, they just have fun with it. Like, that's the reason why we decided to do this. Like, I've been off-putting this idea for the podcast for the longest time because I was very mixed on what I wanted to do. And because I had, how do I put it? I was kind of a troll, and I think Jay and I had some pasts with the internet.
Yeah.
So I think at some point we'll talk about the stories.
Yeah.
But for now, I think it's best if we just... Because here's the thing. If we get a large enough following and we tell our stories of what happened, like back in episode 5, and barely anyone watched episode 5 back then, I think it's best if we just wait a little bit longer.
If we tried to do Draw My Life, by the way, I have such horrible writing that...
Dude, Draw My Life has been dead since like 2012. The fuck
yeah, but
you want about?
If we actually tried that, I have a feeling that all of the artists that watch this will just get aneurysms.
But what I wanted to say was, like, thank you for following us. I hope your guys' year, 2017, was just as enjoyable. There was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of moments that made us go like, "What the fuck," you know. But
the Emoji Movie.
We don't talk about that for the longest time. What the fuck did I say?
I will make you watch that movie.
I'd rather shit in my pants in front of the girl I'm in love with and I'm about to marry on our wedding day than see that movie. I'm talking running down my leg towards pooling.
And you're wearing your best white suit?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Good night, everybody.
But thank you for listening on this. I hope 2018 we can have more of a better schedule, more of like a schedule where we can maintain on top of, depending on what we get, maybe more live action videos. We have plenty of ideas. We have.
Yes.
But we're not going to share those yet, actually. I feel like we should save that to be a secret, you know? I think, because it's going to be 2018 soon, and I think once we have enough equipment to make it live action, I think that's when we can announce more stuff. But for now, I think, I'll let you in on a little secret. It's competitive gaming that we have against each other. That's it. I'll let you know just that. Overall, I think... Hopefully 2018 starts very nice. Hopefully 2018 is going to start well. I mean, hey, the first 3 months are going to be cool. I mean, for you, Sea of Thieves comes out March 2018. So
I don't have a computer for it yet.
Yet. Hey, who knows? Maybe your tax return can come in. It might help out.
I doubt it.
And also, there's a bunch of... I mean, there is stuff you could sell.
If I can get some tuition reimbursement from a new job that I really hope I can get signed up for, if that's the case, then maybe I'll be able to purchase it.
At least not so bad one. Not like 1,000, not like 400, but like minimum, like halfway point. Let's go 800. You know.
So something powerful, maybe something that I can upgrade. Why am I talking about this in a podcast?
But I feel like, just at the very least, I think the start of 2018 is going to be nice because we have a bunch of things planned. We have more podcast episodes, of course. We're driving around the themes of whatever.
And the next theme for the next month, should we say it already?
The theme for next month?
Yes.
Podcast for episode 1 or 2. We might record 2 episodes in January, so we'll go on.
Well, the theme for February's.
We're gonna do. I told you before. We're gonna do a romance, a Valentine's Day for all the singles out there. Because guess what?
All the single
side
waifus.
Note, just to give you guys a heads up, we're not a couple. Just throwing it out there. We both like tits.
I thought you liked ass.
I mean, I like ass more, but tits we can agree on.
Yeah.
We can agree on tits. But I'm saying is,
And we just lost all of our female subscribers.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of female subscribers like hot video game characters that are female. I mean, I know a couple of girls that are straight that like certain female characters, but I'm not trying to be a misogynist, sexist. Again, I'm not going to go into that. But so we're probably going to talk about the themes for that one at podcast. We're probably going to talk about our love experience. It's probably going to be our longer episode.
Yeah.
Because we're going to shoot for 2.5 hours on that one at minimum.
And I'm going to expect a lot of crying.
No, that's not good. Yeah. So we're talking about our past relationships. Nothing too personal, but the ones that feel like we can share. We can talk about characters in video games that we've romanced or would like to romance, characters in shows, movies, anime, stuff like that we really enjoyed.
Characters in hentai
romance
that we wanna...
animes, like for example, James's probably favorite romance anime, Ore Monogatari, or My Love Story in English.
Yeah,
because
relationship goals and brotherhood goals. Both of those.
I'll explain how I got them into that on that episode.
All right.
I feel like that'd be a good idea. New Year's, I feel like we can start off with a bang by like just actually lighting up fireworks on the podcast. No. We probably shouldn't do that.
Welcome to the New Year's special. We're gonna shoot off fireworks right into the microphone.
Allahu Akbar.
Oh man, that was fucked up.
Hey, we gotta end it off somehow. Hey, we made fun of the Jews too much. Let's make fun of other people this time. All right, stop fucking that goat.
Oh God.
Okay, now
good night, everybody.
Now we're done. Okay, so
all right,
that's my message. We don't know what's gonna go on for the summer. We're probably I think the summer at most, late summer. I think we can do live action latest, but earliest we're gonna try to shoot for spring.
Hope for the best.
But my message is I hope everybody has a really safe and fun New Year. And I'm really glad you guys listened into us for this long. So what do you have to say left?
Let's see what kind of shit 2018 gives us.
That we choose to make fun of. I'm excited for the memes in the games.
Oh man!
But
why aren't you at elf practice?
But what are the? That's my message. What is your message to say to everybody else? Like, what's your? What the fuck was that? I had a stroke and a burp at the same time. But what's your message to send out for everybody? Not only for the episode, but for the new year. Pure silence? Gotcha.
Have fun, faggots!
That's your message?
And with that, I am Meta.
And I'm Vince.
And we will see you in the next episode.
Probably in 2018.
Yeah.
See you guys. Have fun, faggots.
Au revoir.
My brothers, I have found the queen. She is as beautiful as they say. She smells so nice. She smells of the great Ebola. But my brothers, she is being tormented by the non-believers. We must save her. We must spit on them. We must protect her, for she knows the way. Come, brothers, let us show them why they do not know the way. You do not know the way. You do not know the way. You do not know the way. But our queen will show us the way.
Let us sniff the queen.